something went on here, something went on there.
This time on TNT.
Jeremy calls me in my room at the Bellagio.
We play a new game, Would You Open the Door?
And we talk about those hilarious Try Not to Laugh videos. That's all coming up right now on TNT.
Hey.
How's it going, bud?
Pretty good, bud.
135, right?
135, and you're in the hat town of Vegas.
Las Vegas. I was thinking about all of the times that we've done podcasts and I've been in a hotel room. And the first time was when, I think it was TLC Waterfalls, wasn't it?
Was it? It might be.
Yeah, it was COQK. That was the first time I was in Orlando at the Swan and Dolphin.
Oh, man.
Then another time was the time I was sharing my room when I found the hat in my room in Vegas.
Vegas.
We've had big, pivotal pods when I've been in a hotel room.
Yeah.
So you had to actually call me on the landline in my room, which was a startling sound because it's not one you hear much these days.
No, it's like total, like you're planes, trains, and automobiles, old school, like 80s phone ringing.
Well, I'm actually kind of surprised they have phones in hotel rooms still.
Well,
I guess the front desk has to call you.
For sure.
So get this, bud. I'm staying at the Bellagio in Vegas.
The Bellage, I like to call it.
I had a long trip here yesterday that left Halifax at like 3:40, flew to Montreal. Montreal to Vegas was 8.5 hours because there was weather, and so the de-icing bay was delayed. So needless to say, by the time I land, it's 12, which is 4 in the morning for me. By the time I get to the hotel, it's 5 or whatever in the morning for me. So as the cab pulls up out front of the Bellagio, which is the hotel that has the water show out front,
Yeah.
guess what song the water show is using? I was looking around like, am I on Just for Laughs Gags? Guess what song?
I want to guess. Give me 3 guesses.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It was composed by someone we've talked a lot about on the show.
Okay.
It has to do with Olympics.
Oh, no, it's David Foster.
Yes!
Yeah.
The love theme from Calgary 88. That's the jam they're using, like for the, imagine like, boo-da-ba-da-dee-dee-doo-da-da-doo-bum-bum. That's what they're using for the water show out front of the Bellagio. I was like, well, what?
And they're probably,
did the Foss stay here? And he was like, you guys should use my jam.
No, they're probably, yeah, exactly, for sure. Yeah, I was over at the Foss's house, and he said, why don't you have this song? This is great. Nobody knows it.
I'm so curious as to how that decision was made. Like, did the guy who's in charge of the water thing think that was always the song, like that was the level of performance they were aspiring to, so enough time had passed that they could use it, or like how? So then I walk into the lobby, and if you've ever been into the lobby of the Bellagio, it's spectacular, and you can imagine Saturday night at midnight or whatever it was, it's quite a destination. So people are coming to have their photographs taken and look at the flowers, and it's nuts. There's a piano bar with a pianist. Guess what he's playing?
Come on, another one?
The Way It Is.
Oh, you're supposed to let me guess again.
But I've been at the Bellagio for 90 seconds, and I've heard Buddha bada dee 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 doodling diddling diddling. I was like, I am in the right place in the universe right now.
I was thinking it was like the Hootie Jam was with the water. I only wanted
that would have been great. With the water?
Yeah, with the fountains.
What's the... Isn't there a dolphin lyric in that song too?
Yeah. Even the dolphins make me cry.
Oh, man.
But he's talking about the football team. That's what makes it even worse. Because he's like...
No, he's not.
Yeah, because Dan Marino's in the video. It's all
he's
about sports.
No. Are you serious?
I think
it's about the
so.
Miami Dolphins?
I think so, yeah. I think it's that.
I'm such a baby, yeah, the Dolphins make me cry.
Like, what the hell? I mean, unless you got pinned against a dog.
That's why the Dolphins make him cry?
When he was a kid.
Imagine, poor Hoots. Poor Hoots.
Darius, look at the Darius. He's kids the dog.
He doesn't swim anymore. Hey, Darius, you want to go for a swim with us? Nah, man. Why not? Nah, man. I just went to the store in the lobby of the Bellage.
Yeah.
Because I kind of missed dinner, and I knew we wanted to rip a pod, and it's late for me.
Yeah.
Because it's, 8, and that's midnight for me, so I'm kind of tired. So I'll tell you what I got, and you tell me how much it cost.
I love it. And that's the place where you're walking, and it's like, there's like, a Chanel store right on the way.
Yeah.
Like, always fancy, like you're walking around Yorkville.
Yeah, Sarah Jessica Parker shoe store.
Exactly.
Like, you want a $30 muffin. It's that.
Pete Rose signing baseballs in the memorabilia place.
Yeah, guess how much the bottled water is in my room?
$8.99.
$22 US.
No way!
Yeah.
No way!
Yeah.
$22.
Yeah, the woman when I checked in was like, "Do you want a couple of complimentary water?" I was like, "Oh, that would be great. I should try to stay hydrated." And she was like, "Yeah, plus the water's $22." She was on my side. Here's what I got, and you tell me how much it cost. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
2 bags of Unskinny Pop, like family size. A bag of Hostess donuts.
Are those
They're mini crunch mini donuts.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to send you a picture of the cover of the bag because they're dope. 2 bananas.
Okay.
2 Quest bars.
Yeah. Protein bars?
Yeah, protein bars. Those are sneaky expensive.
I know. I'm going to say those are probably $6 a piece.
Yeah, no kidding. And a pint of Crown Royal.
What
2 Diet Cokes for mix.
Where was
and 2 bananas.
Didn't you already say 2 bananas?
Let me start again. And 1 tarantula.
That means the Crown Royal was opened already.
Okay, 2. Yeah, I'm on my second one.
That's it.
2 bags of Skinny Pop, a bag of Hostess donuts, 2 Diet Cokes, 2 Quest bars, 2 bananas, a pint of Crown Royal, and 2 bananas. I deliberately said the bananas twice that time.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna guess it was probably like $70 or something.
$139.
Holy shit, man!
US.
What? Come on.
I know.
What?
It's America.
I was being crazy.
You know why they have you over the barrel? Because where else are you going to get some Skinny Pop? You're going to take an Uber to a grocery store?
So, like, the Skinny Pop alone was like $10.
Yeah.
Everything was $10 at least.
Yeah. Well, I was in Fort Lauderdale a couple weeks ago, and at that hotel, the Skinny Pop was 12 bones.
Oh, come on, Skinny
US.
Pop.
I keep saying US like that makes it worse, but it does make it worse.
Can't you just go outside to, like, the gas station and buy everything there for, like, $2? But you're right, yeah. No, you can't.
As you know,
on the Strip,
I'm not a huge Vegas fan.
Yeah.
If I was going to pick a property in Vegas, I'd probably pick the Red Rock Casino, which is kind of off, like 12 miles off the Strip, and at least you can go for a walk there and go to a grocery store or something.
Yeah.
But the Bellagio is right in the middle of the Strip.
It is.
So, like I said, because it's such a destination, even getting to get a coffee somewhere feels like you're, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
So, to get to a Max or a Needs, I don't think it's going to happen.
A Max. The Circle
What's
K
new with you, bud?
always...
I saw you posted a picture of a soccer game today.
Yeah, Jack was rocking today, as he does every Sunday. He plays, and then he practices 2 other days a week. But he's
full competitive.
Yeah, it's amazing that level already. I mean, he's only 10, but to see these other, when you see these kids, they're so fast and they play so well. I mean, it's really incredible. Like the system is amazing too, and the connection with even MLS on down. It's super connected through the community in a great way, where they'll have events where TFC guys will come out or coaches will come out, and it's just a really positive, great way for kids to kind of learn not only just sport, but just being polite and learning so many different things when you're playing rep sports. You can't just go out and fool around. You have to focus, and you have to practice, and you have to do a lot of things that you probably don't want to do, and it's just good for routine, and it's good for understanding.
So is he highly competitive as an individual?
Yeah. Big time.
Like, does he take it hard when they lose and stuff?
No, not at all. No. Not at all. He has a lot of fun. There's no word. They don't even they don't really talk about score. They win or lose, but I mean, there's no first, second place tournament at the end. Everybody just plays a certain amount of games, and that's it. I think they start counting scores, I think, when they're about 13, 14, 15 is when it starts getting more
Really? Not till then?
Yeah. At this point, it's just they're working on getting better, and they're playing against teams that they've been together for like 4 or 5 years, too, a lot of these teams. The kids grow up together, and so they're really good. Like the team Jack's on, some of the kids have already been on the team for 3 years, so it's pretty awesome to watch them play.
And understanding like the mechanics of the game, right? Soccer's so strategic.
Yeah. No, I was not a huge soccer fan, but I mean, I would watch the World Cups and obviously I watched TFC the last couple of years in the playoffs, but having him play it, you get definitely more into it, and you get more of an understanding on all levels. You see how good the pros really are. All that fun stuff.
I shot a thing with some athletes from St. Mary's University in Halifax this past week. Uh-huh. And they were St. Mary's football players, and they are 6'8", 300-pound walls, and they're 18 years old.
That's it, right?
And you realize that, like, I was thinking even with the Olympics, like Patrick Chan, for example, someone that has been part of our collective consciousness for as long as I can remember as a figure skater, he's 27 years old.
Yeah, I know.
The things these people accomplish at such a young age is astonishing. So in a way, 10 sounds young to be playing like rep soccer and having that many practices and stuff, but man, people achieve incredible things as teenagers.
Yeah, no, it's good. Like I said, it's good. It's good learning. It's good learning. Hey, I got a new phone, so we have a new microphone going here.
What'd you get?
I got the iPhone 7 there. The
7
one.
Or the 7 Plus?
No, the 7, not the normal size, not the alien size.
Well, I went to look at a new phone because I think part of the problem, Bud told me, remember I was saying my phone wouldn't connect to the thing?
Yeah.
Part of the problem is there's a wire internally that is crossed or broken or something. Mm-hmm. So I went to look at them, and do I have this right? The 7 and the 8 are the same size, and then the 7 Plus and the 8 Plus are alien bigger size?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
So what is the difference between a 7 and an 8?
I've heard not that much, but the X, which is the 10, is different. So if
is that out yet?
Yeah, it's out. But if you're gonna spend a lot, which it's not necessary, I would go with that. But the 7 is great. It's water resistant, so you can. If it gets dropped in the shitter, it's not a big deal. Not that I do that, but if it did happen.
Yes or no, has that ever happened? Tell the truth.
My phone? No, it hasn't. I've never dropped it in the can.
What have you dropped in the can?
trying to think. Have you dropped anything good in the can?
No.
Yeah, I don't really
Not like car keys or a wedding ring or something.
The only time I'm doing that, like, in my house, it's like the furthest thing from the bathroom is all that stuff. I'm pretty much in my skivvies by the time I'm in the can.
If you were standing up to go number one and checking your Twitter, I suppose it could happen. But generally speaking,
I'll tell you
it's probably not likely.
The 7, it's like it might as well come with Vaseline on it because it's so slippery and it just...
She's slippy, is she?
Oh, but it's got that high-grade titanium, or what? No, the hardcore aluminum side there, so it doesn't... It takes a lot of licking. Like, I've dropped this thing like 3 or 4 times and there's not even a mark on it.
Did you have to get a special charger?
I don't like the fact that I've dropped it. Everything is the lightning cable, so even the headphones. But they have the wireless headphones if you want.
Did you get those?
I haven't, but I haven't tried it yet. So
I feel like there's too much choice in the world.
I know, but it's good. Wireless is good because if I'm like playing or recording little drums in the basement, I can have those on and I'm not dealing with the big wire around the arms or behind my back.
I went to Rolling Phones in Truro and they were very helpful.
It's not called Rolling Phones.
Yes, it is. The Rolling Phones.
Man, I love those names.
Which is like a single entendre. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, because you know how much the Rolling Stones are into telephones.
I know.
Like, it sort of makes sense. It sounds funny and it's fun to say. But the Rolling Phones doesn't really land. But I love it for that reason.
The Berlin Phones.
The gals that work at the Rolling Phones are awesome. And, you know, they have all the phones on display. And so I go in and think, I'm going to complete this simple task. I have this phone.
It's not.
I need a new phone.
So you're like, when you buy it, you buy an unlocked phone and just have the phone?
Oh my God. No, I have a plan with Bell. Rolling Phones is an authorized Bell outlet.
Okay. So
you go into Rolling Phones.
That's not a lot of money. You probably, because you've had your phone for a lot, it's probably not a lot of money to get the upgrade to the 7.
Yeah,
like
I think the 7 was $99 or something, or it might be free. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
More of the problem for me is fitting it in my front pocket. I don't want something that's so gigantic.
No, this is even smaller than... You'll love the size of this then. You don't even feel it. It's like a...
Is it bigger than the 6? Oh my gosh, this is what we're talking about.
It's super skinny, man. It's super thin. It's thinner than the 6. Way thinner.
So, I told you I lost my money clip, right?
I'm telling you, you'll like it. Yeah, you lost your money clip. That sucks.
Yeah, I lost it in Truro. Canceled my credit cards and debit card. Went to the United States of America with my passport, but otherwise no ID or money cards. Fortunately, Carol was with me. Came back, went and got a new license. What they do with licenses in Nova Scotia now, they don't make them right there, so you have to wait 14 days to get your license sent to you.
Yeah.
So I've replaced my debit card, my 2 credit cards. I was about to replace my Nexus. Carol found my money clip in a jacket pocket that she had suggested I check some 10 days before.
That's a lifesaver right there. That happened to me, though, recently because I was just getting a new passport because I haven't flown outside of Canada in like 3 years. So my passport expired and I'm just getting a new one. But I couldn't find my last passport, the expired one, because it's easier to get the new one with the number from the last one or whatever. So I'm like looking all throughout the house. I know it's going to show up somewhere. But I got the new ones coming in no problem. But I tell you what, that's the other thing I'm glad is that 5-year to 10-year thing is a big difference.
Oh yeah, it's great. Why, did you find your old one or you never did?
No, but I'll probably find it like after I get the new one, the day after. Doesn't really make a difference. This is the thing. It's just easier to process, I guess, for them.
Oh, same thing. My health card, I had to replace that, but it turned out that had expired anyway.
Yeah.
But I find that with passports, especially when you have kids, every 18 months you're dealing with someone's passport renewal. Anyway, cheers.
Have we just taken it right to the... We're talking about phones and passport renewals, and we're really...
But I feel like these are everyday things that people can relate to.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's true. It is.
It's observational.
This is the real
Anyway,
stuff.
I'll tell you the conclusion of my phone story. I walked into the Rolling Phones, asked them to explain what I was entitled to, what the options were, what if I really wanted to swing for the fence I could get, what's kind of in the middle between all those things. And then I found myself staring slack-jawed at a glass case, and I just turned on my heel and left. Aww. Not because the women at Rolling Phones aren't great, but just because, I don't know.
You got too...
I don't know.
It was too overwhelming. Or was it
too overwhelming?
It was so overwhelming that it just numbed you of anything.
I'm underwhelmed, if that's a word. By the way, Sloan is playing at the East Coast Music Awards that I'm hosting on May something at the Scotiabank Centre. That'll be fun. It's the 30th anniversary.
Wow.
One other thing before we take a break that I would like to say about Halifax. I, as part of the thing I was shooting this week, worked on the Oval, which is Halifax's Olympic-sized skating rink outdoors.
Alien size.
It is great, and it's such a nice thing for the city of Halifax to have on the Commons, which is a pretty central location. But even better than the fact that it exists is the fact that people use it. And even better than the fact that people use it is the fact that skates are free. The city bought a whole whack of skates, so you just go there and you get skates and you skate. And the great thing about that is it takes the... Yeah, exactly like bowling, but free. There is zero cost. So it takes the option out of it. Or the must be nice. If I had skates, I guess I'd use it. There is no excuse to not go use it.
Yeah, or
and so
that my skates aren't sharpened. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Are they all the same look? They have those old leather ones with the plastic tips?
I feel like they were all kind of the same color. They're definitely labeled like property of City of Halifax or something. And if you are of legal age and you have a driver's license, you have to give your driver's license to get skates. No problem. But the neat thing is, for people that can't afford skates, doesn't matter. And it was awesome to witness so many people that you got the sense might be international students or something, or new Canadians, trying skating outdoors in the winter in Canada for the first time. How cool is that? What a nice thing for the city.
That's awesome. I love it.
Take a break, bud.
Be right back, buds.
Hey, want to play a game, bud?
Yeah? What else am I doing?
It's a game called Would You Open the Door?
Okay.
And the deal is it's behind the door is a gathering or a party or a get together, or even if it's just one going over to someone's house for a one-on-one hang, but the music that you hear behind the door is why that's when Would You Open the Door comes. Like,
good one.
If it's a song, sometimes that if you hear a song, you're like, what's going on there? Then you might not want to go in. You might not want to open the door. So that's if you hear a jam that you like, you'll pound through, right?
Okay. I just have one question. How do you spell woulda?
Huh?
How do you spell woulda?
Would you open the door?
Okay. I just wasn't sure if it was like WOULDJA or something. Woulda.
Oh, when have we ever talked about the spelling of the game?
I don't know. I guess woulda is just such a fun word.
Would ya?
Would you open the door?
I was saying, would you open the door?
Maybe it's WOULDJ apostrophe. Would you open the door?
All right. So this is you ready for the first behind the door, if you heard it? So pretend like you heard a guy and he's like, hey, come up to my place later. I'm having a couple people over.
Okay, where did I meet this guy? In the laundry room of our building?
Your buddy, you know him in your building.
Okay, because I feel like that's pretty pivotal information.
Kind of know him, you know him enough but you don't really know him.
Okay, and earlier today in the laundry room, he's like, "Yeah, I'm having a couple buds in. If you want to stop up."
Yeah, or when you're getting mail or whatever. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I approach the door, and I hear this.
What are you gonna do, bud? You gonna open the door?
Oh, boy. No, I'm not.
No?
No, I'm gonna turn on my heel. Yeah.
Why? Does it sound like... It doesn't sound like they're having a good time in there?
No, I'll tell you exactly why.
Why?
I will walk you through my mindset. In the afternoon, after the encounter, I'd be like, oh my God, how can I get out of this?
You can't be that guy. You're supposed to be like into it, like it's a friend.
I know, but this is what I would do. I know myself well. I would say, that sounds great. Yeah, sure, for sure, man. And then I'd go back to my place and I'd be like, oh my God, how can I get out of this? And then I would think it's going to be really awkward if I see him around the building and I didn't go to his thing. And then I'd get angry with myself, like, what's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you just go to the guy's thing? And then walking down the hall and hearing that music, all of the reasons I didn't want to go would come flooding back. And I'd be like, the problem is you can't just go for one song. You have to commit.
I know, but that's a good jam.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like classic R&B, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't like R&B.
You're not into it. You can't hang there. If you're at a party, like you're leaving, I'm like, I can't do it.
No, I couldn't do it.
But you can handle Backstreet's Back.
No problem.
That you won't. You're not leaving if that's on.
Do you know what I thought it was at first was the opening of SNL. I was like, oh, they're watching SNL at the party. That's not bad.
Sitting on the couch watching SNL.
But this is my nightmare. You go to a party, that song is playing, and you walk in, and there's the host and one other dude. And, like, nobody showed up, and they're trying to pretend it's still a party, but it's not really happening.
Okay. I know if I heard that jam, I'd, like, open the door right away, like I'm in. So here's the next one. You ready?
What are the circumstances? Because I feel like that's pivotal.
Well,
like Janice from The Office said, you know what, Kelty, you need to get out more.
Is Kelty a woman as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having a few people in Friday night. Come by.
Yeah, okay.
So you approach the door.
No, I'm having a thing. Come on over. How about that?
Okay, I'm having a thing.
Having a thing. Come on over. And then you get there, and then hear this jam.
Is it sad? Dis-moi. And you can see candlelight flickering in the window.
You see flickering under the door.
Oh. No way am I going in there. No way. No way. Would you? Where is that? Jeff Martin's house? Like, who plays that? That is a bunch of people sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor going, hey, when you walk in. No way. No how.
You're like, not unless I have a towel around my waist and there's like, you know, I'm in a spa.
That's no.
Massage party.
No way.
Oh. Imagine it's a big tough guy in the gym
playing those jams.
And he's like, come on by, I'm having a thing.
By the way, I shot a thing at a tiny house this week too. I'd never been inside one, and the woman's reason for living in a tiny house was interesting. She said, I feel like our homes should be defined by the feeling we get when we're in them, not by how many square feet it is. And her feeling is she's freed up so much time that she doesn't have to spend cleaning to enjoy life and have friends over and go out and do stuff. It was interesting because it's in the middle of the city in Halifax.
Yeah, what's her name again?
Her name is Jessie. And I was like, so what do you have to go without? And she said, hefty bills. But otherwise, she doesn't really have to go without anything. Pretty neat.
It's crazy because there's that. What was that legendary woman with the tiny house in Halifax? Is that?
I don't know.
Remember Lynn went to go visit that place?
I don't.
Anyway, similar thing. Like she did it, but it was a long time ago.
Well, the thing that I found...
I think she was a painter.
The thing that I found really... Oh, Maud Lewis.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Maud Lewis lived in the first ever tiny house.
Yeah, and there we go. I got it.
The thing that I always had suspected is that tiny houses are those things that you think, that's so cool, man. I wouldn't mind living in a tiny house. But then once the novelty of, get it? My bed's also my dining room table wears off. Then you'd be like, God, where do I put stuff?
Where you like roll over from the bed to pee in the toilet?
Yeah, yeah. You don't even have to stand up because you can't.
Yeah, no.
But this woman was not going without at all.
Sitting up making eggs in your bed.
Yeah. You have your pillow is your hot plate. The worst designed tiny house ever.
The oven is right beside the bed too on the other side.
You have to step over my bed to get to the bathroom. But the cool thing was she had a tiny wood stove, and it was actually a tiny wood stove. And there's a guy in Dartmouth who cuts her logs in half to go in her tiny wood stove.
Man, that's awesome.
All right, hit me with another. Would you go in?
Okay, so this is just whatever your bod that you saw at hockey. Shinny hockey on Thursday nights.
Okay. I'm having a party Saturday. You should come.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you hear this.
Oh, frig yeah, I'm going in. I'm going in with 2 arms raised over my head.
See, this is what I figured that you would have for shotgun as well, but no.
What do you mean?
The first jam, I thought you would be like, "Oh, I'm going in, definitely."
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not feeling that kind of music at all. But for Canadianity and nostalgia, obviously you're going in for the Mitch.
Yeah. No.
Would you go in for the Mitch?
Yeah, definitely. I'd be right in there for sure. But I might have gone in for Enigma too, just to see what was going on.
Yeah, you probably would. You're more curious than me, though, about that stuff.
You can always turn around and can leave.
No, you can't. That's my nightmare. You go in as the host and one other person, and you can't just leave.
No, you can fake sick.
The thing about patio lanterns is that it's kind of hard to dance to. I remember at Fairview Junior High trying to sneak in some slow dances to patio lanterns. It's kind of a weird tempo for slow dancing.
The great Paul DeLong, who I mentioned in my book, the one that you wrote with me. Our book, Canadianity, I talk about Paul DeLong and the top 5 drummers.
Is he that good?
He's fantastic. Yeah, he's awesome. And I say because I was reading it. We started the audiobook reading, and I've been reading the book for 2 days, and it's really hard to read the book word for word.
Why?
And it's just it's difficult. I don't know why. I think to read slow too, because I read fast, and you want to kind of give it some kind of feeling as well. So you have to slow it down, and then just everything is word for word. You can't say kinda. You have to say kind of, or gonna. You have to say going. You have to kind of enunciate every letter. So it's...
And there's an interesting reason why.
Yeah, there's a apparently with Audible, there's with the app you can read along with the book, and it's kind of like karaoke where the line goes with the reading goes with the book, and you just kind of watch the line go on the page as you're hearing the book, and every word that's why every word has to be the same, and if a word's off or not there, then it goes out of sync. So it's why it has to be perfect.
So what
That's why it
happens?
gets a little tricky. Huh?
What happens if you stumble over a word? Do you just take a
You
breath
just
and then
stop.
pick up from there?
Yeah, you stop. There's a lot. I mean, Kyle, who's been the bod editing it here for me in Toronto, he's amazing. He's a drummer as well.
Awesome.
So he's good at kind of putting stuff together quickly. But yeah, they're and I think they have programs and stuff to make sure everything is happening. The words are there, and he's always looking and listening and kind of checking everything twice and 3 times. So it's you end up kind of having to read it, and then you might stumble and then stop and start, or you slur a word, so you start again. And you know how it is when you're kind of in the fast lane of doing it, and you're trying to do it slow.
Yeah.
You're trying to kill it, but once you start trying to kill it, you think, "Oh no, I'm nothing compared to," like you start listening to Game of Thrones or hearing people that really talk slow and enunciate words and have vibe, and you're like, "Oh man, this is just all fast and trippy." So it's been a great experience. So it's been really.
Are you
fun.
enjoying it, or you wouldn't say that?
I am. Yeah, I am, because it's like 10 to 4. So you're kind of sitting there reading for a long time, but it's great.
So have you finished your part?
Tomorrow's the last day, I think. Maybe we'll see if we have to come back and edit, fix anything. But yeah, 2
And
days, full days already.
You're pleased with what you've gotten?
I think so. I'll be interested to see what the bods think that are listening to it, that hear it. If it makes a difference, it might be, because there's certain things like the games, for example, where it's Gino and Joe. I just did Joe's voice as the Joe answers or questions. So for Rio or Brio, or Brio or Vanelli and Vanelli's, it's so actually Vanelli and Vanelli's was straight, but the Rio or Brio required the voice. But mostly it's just kind of trying to give it a storytelling feel. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you when we talk.
Yeah, and like you're not reading.
Yeah, not robotic, which is to do all those things. It's like a little bit tricky for me. So it's a learning experience that I've really, really valued, for sure.
Well, that's good. When you stop learning, you're dead, bud.
Yeah, for sure. It's good.
I think I'm doing mine next week.
Yeah, really? Oh, that's when it starts.
Yeah.
So next week we'll hear your take on
Well,
it.
I'm sure I will be guilty of the same thing. Trying, I'll need to slow down for sure.
But you do that all the time. You're used to reading and talking. You know what I mean?
It's a different skill.
I did find, because I read certain sections that you wrote when I'm some bridge stuff or some introduction or some of the bod ambassador lines in between. When I'm reading your words, it's a lot more difficult, because it's harder to kind of get the same cadence and feel without fucking up.
Well, that's a good sign, because that means we have distinct voices.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah. That's one of the things that people have said they like about the book, is that it sounds like we talk, which it should.
Yeah. Yeah. You use a lot more big words than I do.
Do I?
I think so, maybe. It feels like it, because I'm always kind of tripping trying to read your stuff. Like I read like you wrote most of the introduction, so reading that had that was a big chunk, and it was pretty difficult to get through that. And that's how starting there was a little bit like, oh man, this is
Right.
going to be hell. But once I got to my first chapter, I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Well, I definitely have a dialect, right?
Yeah.
With portmanteaus and words jammed together and cliches, like things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're a little different in that way for sure. But you're a great writer, man. I really enjoyed hearing your take on music and what it means and why people play it and what it means to you. Yeah, I thought you expressed that beautifully.
Yours the same. I've been enjoying reading your takes because it's the same thing. It's the same reason why we enjoy each other's stories. Period.
Yeah,
The perspective.
That's all it is,
you
bud.
Want to do one more jam?
I really do. Let's dial up the conflict in why you might feel pressure to have to go to this party, to maybe make the decision at the door harder.
Yeah, let's make this where you'd be like, of course I'm there. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, like one of those, like, it would really mean a lot to me. I know you have a lot of things on the go and you're kind of busy, but it would really mean a lot to me if you could come.
But also you want to go too a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who would this be? This would be I don't know, maybe someone you respect at work.
Yeah, or someone that has done a lot for you and they're reliable and thoughtful and all that stuff, and you feel like there's an imbalance in what they've done for you versus what you've done for them, and so you're like, you know what? Of course I'll be there, man.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, and then you're coming up and walking to the door and
no way. Can't do it. No way.
it's fucking crazy, man.
Who is that?
I'll tell you what. I can play a lot of styles of drums, and I get drumming. Like, I can play a lot of different beats, but that stuff, what this fucking guy's doing in Meshuggah, never in a million years can I play that.
Who is that?
With his feet.
I went to see.
Oh, man.
Is it Cannibal Corpse?
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I went to see
They're
them with
nuts.
a friend of mine a few years ago in Toronto, and he was a big fan. And the guy's neck is like 2 times the size of a normal neck from headbanging.
Spinning it around.
His neck was spectacular, but that must do long-term ligament damage.
Yeah, for sure.
But the neat thing is,
man.
I was such a fish out of water there that everyone was like, cool, man, respect. I appreciate you coming here. Like, people were looking at me like, no way. Okay, right on.
There's a guy tripping on acid, and he looks and he's like, what the fuck?
Street sense, what are you doing here, bud? But as musicians, I totally admired them, and I sort of get it.
Okay.
Good way to lance the boil of tension. I love Would You Go In?
I know, would you go on? We got more, so let's take a break.
Oh, there's more to come. I love it.
Yes.
BRB bots.
Fucking ready?
Hello?
Hey. Hello.
Hello?
Ready for the next jam, bot?
Yeah. What's the snare? Oh, I got a good one.
The next Would You Open the Door? Yeah, what is it?
Annalise has been invited to a classmate's birthday party.
Annalise?
Yeah, you're dropping her at the door, and this song is playing inside.
Well, I'm not dropping her anywhere without seeing who's there.
Well, I know.
You know what I mean?
But
Who's gonna
still,
do
you and her
that?
can be approaching the door when this song is playing, can't you?
Oh, okay.
And you're like, I don't know, Annalise. Or maybe you'd be like, awesome, great party, and you go.
Okay.
That's the scenario.
All right. Okay. Here we coming down the hall right here.
For sure. That's so kitschy and
Disco
fun.
Star Wars?
Yeah.
I'm going in. I guess they might have some. They might have some animatronics or something.
For sure. Like a
with
Star
that kind
Wars
of
May the
jam,
4th
right?
be with you kind of party? No problem.
Okay. How about this scenario? It's you're going, and it's like like you paid to go there. How about that? You know what I mean?
Oh, yep. You
Like
thought
one
it's
of
a lot
those
of money. They're $75 tickets, but I'm going to get a pair of them because it's Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. And it
Some
means a lot to my
event.
wife to go, so we're going to go. And then you walk up to the hotel ballroom and you hear this jam.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd go.
You're going?
Yeah, that's so nuts. You'd have to go.
It's probably the circus or something.
Do you know, the interesting thing is, obviously you pick these jams blind, and so the scenarios are just coming up as we're getting to them. But all
Yeah.
of the songs kind of make sense in the scenarios that we've picked.
They do, for sure. And this one would have worked better maybe with Annalise, but it's more like, oh, okay, if that's what you think you would hear. You'd be like, oh, okay, we're coming up to the door with Annalise. It's like,
Of course you'd hear that.
yeah, it's like, yeah, for sure. You and the girls?
Yeah, you'd think
We're
like,
going
oh,
in.
they hired an Elsa and an Anna and a thing and some stuff.
And you're like, wow, sounds like a big band.
What is that, by the way?
It's Spicy Soup by the Clown Orchestra
Oh my gosh.
from the album Party with Clowns.
No, don't want to. Not scared of them, just find it weird.
Okay, what about its...
I
this
find
is like
clowns a bit weird, do you?
Clowns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never liked clowns. Not scared of them, but if there's a creepy-eyed drunk clown, that ain't cool. Like if you smell booze on them, or if they have that, if it looks like their red lips are all gone from darts.
Have you ever smelled booze on a clown?
Yeah, remember that Bonhomme de Neige? You know that the guy at the Carnival?
Oh yeah.
There was one of those guys, and it was reeked in the. Remember, I talked about it, I think, before, and he smelled so bad that there's an actual picture I have it where Jet and I are like trying to get away, and it's like, whoa, our faces are like, in the photo.
Who told me
And he
that
has,
the
like-
Bonhomme de Carnival
Yeah.
is like the hardest thing to book, and the guy has kind of an attitude, and his rider is really extensive,
He had like super nicotine fingers,
and he
like
doesn't even
orange
say
fingers.
anything. Yeah. He needs like 4 packs of Export A
And
Green.
you can just smell like Fireball whiskey.
Chicken bones, right? Fireball and chocolate milk. Gross.
Jeez.
Awful.
Okay. So the next one is your boss's fishing lodge.
Okay. So you have to go. Those are real
You have to
stakes.
go. It's like, me and the boys want you to come. See if you're part of the program,
Oh boy.
right? See if you got what it's worth. Ready?
Yes.
So you're walking up with your fishing rod to the lodge, and you hear this.
Oh, I'd go in for sure.
But what if they're all naked when you get in there?
Come see if you fit in.
They're all wearing leather masks.
What is that? That's not popcorn, is it?
Yeah.
But that's like a super, like, Atari version of popcorn.
Well, this is popcorn. Popcorn. Yeah, that's the drums come in. I don't know. That's the one I have.
Was I telling you, my friend James Boyd told me about a guy who had a stretch limo from the 80s? Did I tell you this? And
he did?
He cut out
a nice one?
Cut out the floor to drive it onto the ice to use as a fishing shack.
That's solid.
I love that move so much.
Okay, how about your your buddy from your bowling team?
Invites you over?
Yeah.
And your wife is like, you should go.
Just go.
Just
you have
go.
so much fun with him at the lanes.
Yeah, you guys have real chemistry on the lanes.
Yeah. Remember that time he fought for you for that ruling?
You've been saying you want to have more friends. Go. Free pass.
Yeah,
have fun.
He lent you his ball. What kind of balls do they have? They're bowling balls.
The 3-finger ones?
Yeah. Like mine has a tarantula in the middle, and it looks like one of the amber, like the mosquito in the Jurassic Park looking ball.
Do you own your own bowling ball?
Oh, fuck no.
I wish you did. I really
these...
thought for a minute you were saying,
No
this is my ball, and I was so into it.
I'm not that good at bowling. What's your ball, though, for your guy?
It's like a rainbow, but it has, like, Animal from the Muppets on it.
Inside? Like, flying around?
Yeah.
His face all crazy?
Well, no, his two eyes are thumb holes.
Coming at the pins all like, ah!
His two eyes and his mouth are the thumb holes. Finger holes.
Oh, see, and then Jack and Diane are like, oh, look at that. Look at the animal scream.
I just love that he has so much fun with his ball. Isn't that great?
Just pins flying around.
Animal's one thing. A rainbow's another. But a rainbow animal, can you imagine?
And the pants he's wearing. Who would have thought he would rip them off and he had another pair of pants?
But see, he has fun with fashion, and I appreciate that about him. You're walking up to his shed in the driveway?
Yeah.
He's like, there's a cold one in the Coleman.
Yeah, come on in, buddy. He looks like... It's the guy with the glasses that was in that show, the black and white one with the army guys.
MASH?
No, the black and white one. The guy with the glasses.
Hogan's Heroes?
Like this. Everybody had... What?
Hogan's Heroes?
No, the other one. I think it was before that even.
Holy cow, I have no idea.
Got the big thick glasses and bald.
Do you know what happened to me this morning?
What?
I'm in a wheelchair accessible suite, so everything's really big, and everything's really bright, and everything's really well lit, and everything's really low. I caught sight of some neck fuzzies in the mirror. You know how normally when you get your hair cut, they cut off the neck fuzzies?
Yeah.
It was like suddenly my neck fuzzies were out of control. It was all I could see was these neck fuzzies.
What? Were they like going around in a circle?
Well, they were like 2.5, 3 inches long. Just looked really unkempt. So I tried.
So I gotta take care of that.
I was.
Did you do like take a match?
No, I put shaving cream on the back of my neck.
Oh no.
And tried to shave the fuzzies in the mirror.
Okay. What happened?
I cut myself several times.
Fuck, I didn't want to hear. Oh, took off a skin tag or something.
Yeah, I could. Well, I probably did that too.
Oh, my nuts. I don't want to hear it.
Why did that hurt your nuts?
I don't know, but for some reason, whenever I think about any kind of like pain or something, I feel it in my nuts.
Like razor blades cutting someone's fingertips?
Anything, yeah. Or like, you know, somebody, when people watch those videos of like some kid on a BMX going down and like twisting his head and not remembering his name anymore at the end, and they're like laughing. Like that doesn't make me laugh. I get like a big pain.
Well, this is
Right
one of
in
the
my
problems in the
center.
world. The girls have been watching Try Not to Laugh videos recently. And most of the Try Not to Laughs are
It's people getting
toddlers
hurt.
drowning. Like, awful stuff.
What? What?
Well, like a kid goes
Who
to jump in the
drowning?
pool and their face goes underwater and everyone's laughing and the person keeps videotaping. Or a kid, like, does a header in some loose gravel surrounded by chickens. Like, try not to laugh.
Yeah, try not to laugh.
Watch.
Or like a woman gets thrown off a horse and lands on her neck. Try not to laugh.
That's what they are. Like
I
narrow
know.
train escapes. Try not to laugh. What do you mean try not to laugh? Try to laugh.
You don't know, like his head got hit by the mirror and he's got a huge hematoma, but try not to laugh.
There's a lot of like toddler swings at a golf ball and it hits the ground and then hits them in the eye socket. Try not to laugh. Or
Or like a kid jumping up and down on ice and he just goes in on the leg. Try not to laugh.
or brothers running towards you, younger brothers running behind, and then a goat bucks him 20 feet in the air. Try not to laugh. They're so violent and awful.
Or like the kid's in the back seat and the kid opens the door while they're driving and then another car clips him and takes him out. Try not to laugh.
Or mom puts power window up on her kid's face. Try not to laugh. They're so violent.
Guy tases his kid by mistake. Try not to laugh.
There's one where a kid is driving one of those little miniature cars, like the divorced dad guilt cars.
Yeah.
And he runs over his brother. And you can hear the person videotaping like, oh, Rory. Like, it's so lighthearted. It is shocking to watch. It's either people having gas in other people's faces or toddlers almost perishing.
Man.
Try not to laugh.
Right. Hey, what's the when you go downstairs? What is it a mall basically of stuff right away?
Yeah. Yeah, there's the Sarah Jessica Parker shoe store. There's some $3,000 glasses, and then there's like
8-ball jackets for $8,000.
yeah. There's a Van Gogh fakes museum. Like they're not
Nice.
real
You
Van
can
Goghs.
buy a fake Van Gogh for $30,000.
Yeah.
Because it's a great replica.
I'm trying to, without making assumptions, trying to put the people that are here in buckets of some kind. Like you do see all kinds of folks. Obviously a lot of like bachelorette party kind of things. And then you see the people that like to gamble and stuff.
See any crunch guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For
Abundant.
sure.
Right?
And you either see them with their, in quotes, nieces,
Yeah.
or, couples in their 60s and 70s just here to gamble or something. But I think the level of grease is pretty well documented.
Yeah, for sure. And like, when was the first time you went to Vegas?
Ever?
Yeah.
I think
the first time I went was 95.
What were you doing?
Playing there. I couldn't gamble. I had to stand behind the ropes because I was only 19, I think.
What was the tour where you were here and someone got sick or something, so you were kind of stranded here for a couple of weeks? Remember?
Yeah. Stranded where? Oh, in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The singer from Creed got a pretend laryngitis. Like fake, because I'd see him running around partying.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's like, guys, I can't really do the shows. We need to stand down.
Yeah, but then you see him like getting carried by his bros like to some strip joint.
So what happens in that case? You were just kind of standing by in Vegas?
No, yeah, 5 days off of just rolling around. Nothing to do but spend money gambling and get bored.
Well, you didn't have your driver's license then either, right?
No.
Because wasn't there a time
Not that I
when
would.
everybody rented Porsches and Ferraris and you couldn't?
Yeah. Go burling around in the desert.
That would actually be
Really?
pretty fun.
Yeah, I guess it'd be alright. I never went on one of them helicopter rides. And not that I would want to do that either.
Well,
You just fly into the place and then you get on a fucking helicopter. That same idea.
Well,
Look out the
apparently-
window when you're coming out in the city there.
apparently today, one of those tourist helicopters like crashed in Grand Canyon.
No.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It's actually surprising you don't hear it happening more because you watch them, a whole bunch of them up in the air, kind of crisscrossing, flying over the strip and stuff. It's a wonder it doesn't.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear what
That's
happened
awful.
at the airport in Chicago today? They ran out of de-icing fluid.
So what did they do?
Cancel all the flights for the day.
Oh man, planes, trains, and automobiles.
Someone's in the hot seat
Real.
for that one, bud.
Oof, that's terrible. Hey, looks like we're at the end of 135, bot.
How did we do that?
I don't know, but I can't believe it. It was a fun episode.
Super fun, bud. Thanks
Yeah,
for calling me on my landline at the Bellage.
No problem. I'll see you next week when you're not in the Bellage.
Jonathan
Hey,
Torrens,
hey,
CBS News,
hey.
Las Vegas.
Gino, I got Bellage.
I got Bellage from staying at Bellage. That is big bad.
Dungang gang go dungang jubon bounce from do that dum bam bam tika dum down.